we will see from Monkey Menagerie in HGC for at least 6 months, unless they can take this and begin the reverse sweep.
Also, how do you look at this when you are in the shoes of the Monkeys? Is this really a moment where you say, okay, boys, we still got this, let's focus, or do you just resign at this point, mentally?
I mean, I'm very much a portrayer of the never give up mentality and style of play, so I hope they're going to adopt this, but right now, they had that game, and they still dropped it. Obviously, you can potentially, they could, and I would potentially say this might be just a good mental decision. You could blame the pause and say this is not going to happen again. We're going to do exactly what we did last time without breaking on momentum and just take it home.
I thought about the pause too, and if you lose the momentum there, but the thing is, like, from the get-go, your idea is to move back and then focus on that Shrine fight. And it's the Shrine fight they lost, and there's at that point you're back in your rhythm. So, I mean, I guess you can still make the argument. I just feel like
just for their own benefit,
focusing on that one fight, that's like what you could definitely pull off there, and that's the one where they lost. Might have been the cooldown issue, but they had everything. 20 advantage, fountain, pre-tap. It must be heartbreaking. You are already 0-2, and now you're losing that game too. It's tough.
It's absolutely tough, but right now they have to be able to either just put that game behind them, just forget it happened, just like, all right, every game we're just about to play a series of best of ones. That's all they need to think of. We have to win all of them. That's the way you've got to look at it. You have to focus right now. Everything that just happened, ignore it. The fight mistakes, the cooldowns being burned, you've got to put that behind you because you have to focus to keep your HGC career alive.
I mean, it's insane for the EPunks. 3-0.
Yeah, that's a telling tale.
I'm going to be honest, I expected EPunks to be the favorite in the series, just from the way that they presented themselves so far. But I did not expect this to be in such a clean series. I mean, Game 3 was a little bit more wonky, but still, let's not forget about Game 1, Game 2. In both of those games, 4 kills in total for the Monkeys, and not really looking too strong there. EPunks, from the get-go, just having a great day today. And making this a very impressive run through the Crucible up to this point.
Exactly, and this is going to be very interesting because not just this series, we're going to be seeing Roll20 are likely going to be looking at this series as well and thinking, if this is happening and Holy Bananas beat EPunks, how does that affect us? Is that skill level still comparable, or is it just that one game that Holy Bananas took against EPunks in playoffs, and are they still feeling confident to play their own game? This is what we'll be finding out tomorrow.
Yeah, Holy Bananas really impressed me when I looked at their games. I talked to their players quite a lot. I also watched a lot of the matches that they played, and they really impressed me. At first, I wasn't quite sure what to think of them, but still, they are a strong team, so Roll20 better be prepared for tomorrow's series. But right now, we're focusing back onto the 4th game in this match between the Monkeys and the EPunks. And right now, it is nearly lights out for the Monkeys. Again with the Samuro ban, we saw it already on Battlefield of Eternity. And on this map, of course, it makes a lot of sense if you're afraid that your opponent might play Samuro.
Yeah, it's very sensible. EPunks have been playing Samuro in Open Division when they wanted like cheeky victories. They're 4-0 on the hero.
Yeah.
They're happy to bring it out when they need to. With Abathur banned out, though, that means we're either going to potentially see Genji or Maiev make it through the draft.
Now, there's a few things with this. Abathur banning it against the Monkeys, I don't really think there's a point to it. They hate the hero. They played it, I think, once in the season, and that was when they had to play with a sub-player who played Abathur. But Urel at least gets banned out too now from the Monkeys. So finally, in game number 4, starting to react a bit to the priority that Kaz in particular has on the hero, and the EPunks have always taken the chance to go into an early URL whenever they could. So finally that's taken out. Question of course still remains, is it too little too late?
We'll find out. Maiev was given over again to the EPunks. It dominated the game they played it previously, and they're stealing away. Alex's Dahaka coming in here. Very cool to see. Once again, not as common played by EPunks as Blaze, for example, but it's still a 7-1 hero for the EPunks. They're still very comfortable on it.
So Muradin and Junkrat, so both of them great. Junkrat, of course, with a lot of clear that he has. Muradin and Tyrande, if they can really coordinate the synergy between the two well, especially with early rotations, that's a lot of kills that we could see. But that's something where teams in the recent past have actually disappointed a bit. So maybe another burst damage hero with that. You could even go into something like a Jaina, for example, depending on the rest of EPunk's composition.
That could be possible. A little bit of extra burst follow-up on the Muradin, on the Junkrat Riptire as well. Could be fantastic if they could land it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like, this is another really good setup if you want to get kills at least. And Tyrande also has good interrupt potential, of course.
Absolutely. Because we've actually saw a little bit of EPunks relying on ETC earlier. So once again, already having triple interrupts for a mosh pit already lowers that risk a bit, which is why we see the Garrosh ban here. So now it would be Diablo versus Muradin, which isn't the worst matchup for a Muradin.
Yeah, I feel like right now, if your EPunks is still, you can even go into Johanna still if you want to. So there's still, like, I mean, Johanna with the Iron Skin is great against the setup with Tyrande and Muradin, so that helps. But they go down with Tyrael again. Ooh.
And Vala! Wow, not even a double support. This is going to be a single support with Tyrael Vala.
All right.
Risky plays coming in from EPunks. I mean, they've got room. They've got room to make this kind of play and make this kind of call, but this is what you're putting your game number 4 on. If they win with this, it's certainly a statement.
Against a Muradin, Junkrat, and Tyrande? I mean, yeah, if Vala gets hit by one of those stuns or by... she is a goner. Blaze and Tracer.
What's the support? What's the support? EPunks, you need something to protect you against that Tracer burst now.
Here's my question. Does it matter?
I think so. Burst supports are certainly going to be obviously better against this.
I mean, you want to deny the Tracer kill.
Yeah. So Deckard, who would have otherwise been fantastic, loses a fair amount of value, I think, due to his lack of burst protection. But we still see it. They're going for just the more overall value hero. The shield, but don't get me wrong, the shield potions are still fantastic. The disruption Deckard can offer against the Tracer is great, but it's still a little bit risky because Vala's now so reliant on Tyrael. Oh, that is a face. That is a face of confusion.
I am not sold.
I am also not sold. The synergy is there. There's so much potential for incredible plays here. But even if you're just following up on this has to be a containment disc, I feel, for starters.
I would rather have seen Jimmy than Vala.
Yeah,
if you want to go for anything like this. The thing is, I look at this and I mean, you see this in the immediate thing that I jump to is, okay, Maka is going to play Tracer. And Maka at this point, there's a good chance that he's pissed. There's a really good chance that Maka is just angry right now. And he's just like, give me a hero that I can carry with. And I was like, but I want to draft. It's like, I don't care what you want to draft. You give me a hero that can draft.
Let's
keep me alive, and I'm going to kill them, all of them. And then you see that Vala on the other side, and Marcus just singing like, yeah, boys, let's go. So I'm like,
someone like Marcus saying something like that, I believe him.
Exactly. So I don't know, like, prove me wrong, but I think Vala's going to have a tough game.
Well, let's find out as we head into game number 4, potentially the last game, with Crosby playing the Junkrat, Maka on that Tracer, Alex the Pro G on Blaze. We have Remaballer on that Muradin, and of course Splendor is going to be playing that Tyrande. They are the Monkey Menagerie.
Another quick 3-2-3 moment here, no monkeys. But yeah, the Menagerie, I like that draft a lot more. You have Muradin, you have Blaze, there's stuns, you have the Tyrande, the Hunter's Mark alone is already fantastic. Then you have Maka behind that as well. Whew, boys. I mean, even that random damage that comes out of a Junkrat and then the stun combos with Tyrande and Muradin against Vala is absolutely terrifying if you get hit at any point. So,
yeah.
Right now, if you're Roskmek, you have to play the game of your life here, I feel.
Yeah, you have to do so much work here. Also, Grandpaketa and Lolbor have already mentioned the amount of pressure that's on them. Once we get Containment Disc, once we hit level 10, I'm going to feel a little bit better about it, because this is a team that could potentially stomp 5v4s, but they need, it's a team that can snowball incredibly well roster-wise, not roster-wise, composition-wise.
I'll put it like this. From a draft perspective, this is, I feel, the strongest draft advantage, or the best draft that the Monkeys so far had against their opponent. I liked what they went into game number 3. There was a clear idea behind it from both teams. EPunks didn't work out until the very, very, very end, just before they could have potentially lost the game. So, yeah, I think they really thought once level 10 hits as the second objective on Infernal Shrines that they can win that, but then nothing worked out, but they salvaged it at the end. But I still like the idea that the Monkeys had going into draft number 3. This one I like too. Like, this is really a good setup where you have a very clean-cut idea. It's an easy to execute composition where you have a lot of your hopes on Tracer. So there's the individual plays that Maka can pull off. There's synergies with stuns that you can also just simply capitalize on and try to get those kills. We're highlighting Vala, but Vala is not the only hero that you can target here. She's just the most vulnerable from a hit point pool perspective.
Exactly. Tyrael is a lower hit point tank. If you can get him before his shield, lock him down, he is also a target. Dahaka, get him in an isolated position, gank him in his lane. He is also a target. He doesn't have escape. He has delay tools that allow him to escape. But overall, he is still at risk. And of course, you can CC lock Maiev, which they have a lot of crowd control. She doesn't have any hit points. She's an assassin.
I mean, once that Vala has level 13, I feel like she can, at least with Gloom, negate some of the pressure on her. So that's going to be important. But yeah, as we said, it's all about... I feel it's all about going to be that interplay between Tracer trying to aim for Vala. That's going to be the big one.
I assume so, but siphoning Arrow, because a Hungering Arrow build here can be decent, of course, just in terms of mercenary rotations.
Hybrid, multi-shot.
Okay, that makes sense.
I would expect that.
Okay.
Like, it's actually ages since I've seen full commitment to an Arrow build. On the Battlefield, it makes a lot of sense, but I haven't really seen it in a long time. But yeah, I would say it's really going to be all eyes on Maka. What can he pull off here? If he pulls a DAB and just finds these kills in the backline all the time, then I think Vala is going to have a horrible, horrible game here, trying to get the damage in. And you don't even have to only focus on her. If you all of a sudden switch targets, it makes it difficult for the team too. There is the global aspect. We can't forget about that. EPunks have that still. Then again, you have to run on the other side with the interrupt potential through the owls. So that helps a bit to just stall someone out that wants to channel an altar. In terms of wave clear and maybe control of the altars, I really think that Junkrat is going to do well here. Yeah,
I mean, you're right. The wave clear is decent. We have Blaze, we have Junkrat for Monkey Menagerie, so they have that. Let's go to the other side. Dahaka is fantastic, obviously. Vala is okay. Maiev is okay. So neither team's going to have a huge amount of problem with that. But once again, the difference is global.
Yeah, and that's a huge one. I feel like when you're having... You eliminate Blaze and Dahaka from the equation for just a second, having them in top lane. So when you look at the 4-mans alone, even in the 4-man rotation, the moves between like Tyrande and Muradin, those two roaming the map alone and trying to set stuns up, if you combo any of the other two heroes with that, you can either use a Stormbolt, for example, also for the concussion mine with Junkrat, just to push someone in. We have seen that combo executed in the past actually quite a lot. Now you put a Tracer on top of that who can try and capitalize on any kind of stun or Hunter's Mark within a quick kill. That 4-man is already scary. So even outside of the Blaze, as an additional layer of defense with a bunker later on, that's already a pretty tough combo to go up against. The problem with the monkeys that I always have when I see this is the execution on that level. Because you want to really just synergize with your cooldowns, move through and make sure that you hit all of those. And if that works out, you have great kill potential. But monkeys have shown in the past that they oftentimes aren't really quite on the same page with it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we're gonna be getting ready quite soon. As I was told, we are not heading to a break, so we are going to be ready to head into the map quite shortly, I hope, as we can see if that does work out for the Monkey Menagerie. As like we said, their draft looks pretty fantastic. Let's see if it pays off for them, and they can begin that reverse sweep. Karo, who's on the right?
To the right side, we have the EPunks with Cars on Dahaka as his URL got banned out. Sonic Le Beast is feasting it up on Maiev. Grand Paquette on Deckard Kane, Rostmag on Vala, going into an arrow build, and Lauber with Tyrael.
But how much of an arrow build? Will we see that? We can still get Arsenal, obviously. This still is mana reduction, so you're not getting mana regen from Hot Pursuit, but it means you're going to be less mana intensive for immediate burst, so we will see. We'll see how the build is. Nice triple stun by Alex, but the shielding from Tyrael, too good.
Arrow build being chosen here. I mean, good mercenary control if you want that. Have to admit, this is the first arrow build that I've seen in a long time. Most of the Valas that you see these days, and granted, within the European region, that's not a lot, is a normal multi-shot build. Now, there's a couple of hybrid variations with an arrow build, but the 13 talent is what we're going to look for the most. Is that going to be Gloom to try and negate the damage that comes out from Tyrande, or are we instead going to see the siphoning arrow? That's probably the biggest moment of contention.
Sonic survives the burst of Tracer, but you're exactly right. The Gloom is going to protect you against so much, but Siphoning Arrow, if you're going for a full Hungering Arrow build, then of course it's going to be very effective. On this map, in theory, I can 100% see the logic, of course. Mercenaries are a huge deal on this map. It's why Vikings used to be so proficient here, due to the fact that the mercenaries do so much structure damage and, of course, can do core damage. So having that kind of PvE style can be quite effective, but right now they need to, not die. As Monkey Menagerie begin a pretty passive invade for the moment. With Loba hovering around the side, they might just give this up, but they have the Junkrat grenade, but Rampaketa holds the point and forces Rem around.
Yeah, Maka is also throwing out those bombs whenever he can. He talked about this in the past, always saying, like, if you are playing Tracer, even if you don't get a kill, you don't have to get a kill with your level 10. You just go in and you get the damage out. But yeah, Rosmek versus Maka is, for me personally, the big battle here in the game. There's a lot of other things to consider, but this will be a big story here. Remaballer is already roaming around, trying to see if he can get that Stormbolt set up for someone else to capitalize on with the damage. We've seen Crosby with a couple of those concussion grenades too, concussion mines, but let's see how that's going to work out in the long run.
Monkey Mercs make it in. EPunks were cleared up, so a little bit of value gained there for Monkey Menagerie, who also have a tiny, mostly insignificant experience advantage. But we are, in fact, seeing Valor continuing into a Hungering Arrow build as Loba is forced to back up. Good tether, no follow-up.
I'm going to be honest though, it's only 2.5 minutes in, but already I feel the Monkeys are definitely the ones pushing the envelope here. They're the ones to try and initiate fights, they're the ones trying to get the kills, and EPunks are more playing reactive, which is, I guess, what you would expect with the draft here too. Especially, of course, since a lot of the power spikes on the EPunks center around the level 10s, when, for example, Tyrael finally gets his heroic ability.
Mercenary is picked up by EPunks, who once again seem to be very mercenary focused. Tyrande currently completely unattended, so are they just going to go for a 1 for 2? EPunks just going to take the shots against them here.
Alright, exchange here. Again, early game I feel EPunks, they will not focus too much on any big fights, for the reasons mentioned earlier. You really want to have the Sanctification ready. You want to have the tools here with Isolation too. Even in Bala, damage output and potential stun coming out is going to be huge. Monkeys are just stronger in that early stage of the game. So EPunk's not even battling for the third altar and just saying, you know what, just take it. We're fine with one, as long as we don't give up everything, we're cool.
Alright, they're going to hold the line for the moment. Everyone backing up right now, of course, due to the trade out. EPunk's a little bit behind on core health, but they're sticking even on experience. So they are just lasting until the mid stages of the game, as you already mentioned. They just head into the lanes. It's a much slower start to the game than all the ones we've seen so far.
Junkrat is trying to... Oh, Junkrat also being the one attacked here immediately, but like he's the one attempting to just push out the lanes as quickly as possible, outside of the one-on-one at the top side, which Blaze and Dehaka are just completely locked into. The level 7 talents for EPunks and also for the Monkeys are now finally ready. That means, of course, that Vala gets her repeat on the arrow, goes for the repeating arrow here with a puncturing arrow on the level 1, trying to get those stacks in. 1 accomplished so far. And besides that, we're having 4 Blaze, again, the 7 talent, which has become very popular throughout the Eastern Clash and afterwards. Crossfire taken here.
Very interesting, but of course it is pretty decent for a little bit of extra burst, a little bit of poke damage. Can always gain some value. Junkrat flies away. Sonic continues to chase, gets the tether, but can they chase him down? Hungering Arrows are bouncing in, and Loba picks up the kill. They're pinging him. They want the turnaround, but instead they get Sonic.
Counter kill against Mayap. So 1-for-1 trade here. And with Tracer moving in, there's always the potential for another kill happening, of course, as well, if you can chase them down here. Talking about chasing, Loba actually going in deep, trying to protect the mercenaries and also pushing the Monkeys back here and getting a bit of extra damage. Marke moves out, so does Splendor, safe for now, as we have another altar appearing on the map.
Darker and Blaze are still dueling up in top lane, preventing Alex rotating down, because Cass, of course, has the global. I like the play, but it's too late. Marke's already got this.
Big advantage for the Monkeys, 36-28.
Smeg, this is the issue with Valor. He nearly dies there, but was able to survive though, so good job there. Remmers are definitely going to die. I stand so corrected, and they instead kill off Tracer in the backline.
Tracer goes down and can't get the kill against Rosmek. Marke here needs to be cautious. That was actually a nice escape of Muradin, but then, as you said, the counter kill against, or the kill against Tracer makes it still an advantageous position for the EPunks, and now we're having them again in the leading experience. Granted, behind when it comes on points on the core, but down there building up the momentum bot side and trying to push that through.
Yep, they move in, they burn through the towers, get a little bit of pressure there. Cass already back in top lane, Sonic even helping him because they once again want that Sapper camp. This level 10 is hit.
Strafe. Going into the strafe here.
There's that containment disc. That's going to be the biggest deal. And also stay a while and listen. They have so much divide and conquer potential. It's exactly what you need for multi-shot Valor. She is a single target blow-up hero with this particular build. Strafe, of course, helps a little bit of AoE and has a little bit of anti-synergy with stay a while. But you still have the ability to dive onto a target while someone is isolated, while people are sleeping.
Yeah, so at this point, we are again looking, of course, towards the synergies on the 10, but also the next altar on the map, and that's a single altar once more. And this is where the big one. There's already a huge amount of damage on the Lorber for free. Mark, on the other hand, also eating a lot of DPS from the EPunks heroes here in the mid lane. Vala starting to make the rotation down to the bottom.
She's on 11 stacks right now. Going to be getting quite high up there in terms of the damage.
There's the kill squad.
They're looking for it. They get the stun. Can they do it? Rosberg. Oh, by Rosberg. He gets destroyed. Isolation also whipped here as Marker just going to be able to easily pull away.
Cass with a great drag here, but of course the Celestial Attunement on the side of Tyrande is going to be fantastic throughout the entire game against the Haka and his drags they can set up. Now with Vala down, that should be an easy altar again for the Monkey Menagerie. They're looking for another kill here. Marker already moving in. Sanctification baited out as Tyrael has to commit to it. The stun turnarounds, and this is the end of Tyrael's second kill for the Monkeys.
They used a containment disc to try and get it. A containment disc apparently pauses sleep. I did not know this. So we do see him get taken out, but the shots are going to come in here.
Yeah, that's 24 points on EPunk's score against the 36 for the Monkeys. Experience still fairly even. Camp invade happening as the tank is gone from the EPunk's perspective. And yeah, Marker starting to do work on his Tracer, really putting in the effort at this point.
Yeah, the argument's starting to get a little bit more in the favor of that Gloom we were talking about earlier, because look at all this burst. It's doing so much work here, even with the extra shielding from Tyrael. If he's not there, Valor's basically dead every time.
Yeah, and even in the fights later, we should see a huge focus on that. I mean, Junkrat is another hero that we can't forget about. We focus heavily on Tracer, and the reasons are obvious. She is a focus point here, but Junkrat can always get the damage in too. Then again, Tyrande, aggression against her, containment is out again. Grand Paquette is going down here. Another great setup by Tracer, but Muradin gets the final blow.
Pulse Bomb plus Riptire plus Muradin. Cass with a great burrow. He might be able to escape here. Loba taking some damage too. And it's going to end up being a single kill for Menagerie, but
such a good draft.
Yeah, it's doing so well.
So many stuns here the entire time. The Storm Ball, the Jet Propulsion, and bam, Tyrande coming in with the Lunar Flare too. There's so much happening here. And behind all of this, while EPunks are trying to dodge stuns, you just have the damage from Junkrat coming in. Tracer, Marker is doing work here. Double altar now, early level 13 already for the Monkeys. And let's see how much effort they have to put into maybe even get that bell tower at the bot lane. Defense is there, but here's the attack.
Tracer gets absolutely annihilated. Sonic has to teleport out. Stay a while just to zone, catches no one here.
Yeah, trying to save them on the retreat, but here comes the engage. Rema Baller is going deep for this one, and as we said, that bell tower is nearly gone. Lauber, a little bit far out. They should just get that bell tower and get out here.
They can just turn around. Oh my god, this is a turnaround, Zag. They get the Tyrande, the drag just short of Marker. Rema pops the avatar, he's got the isolation, so he has no vision here. The charge just short from Alex though, they're so tanky. Oh no, here comes the Riptire counter.
The Riptire goes in, the damage. Lauber needs to be careful too. Marker actually just barely dashing away here, and a great move by Junkrat pushing everyone out. But Monkeys didn't get that bloody bell tower. They didn't get a kill, and they lost 2 heroes. Now they're fighting back, and Junkrat goes down.
Marker takes him down as they instead turn onto Alex, looking for the counter kill. They get him, but Marker's here. He's going to do so much damage to low members, but it's just him and Rema. Tyrande's on the way back. Marker, don't right-click the altar. He has to recall back, and it's being forced away. But now with Tyrande here, Interrupts galore, and immediately EPunks recognize this and just pull away.
What
a delay.
a bloodbath. What a bloodbath. 20 points on the EPunks score against the 36, and we are just having kills galore on each side here.
Junkrat's on the way.
Junkrat is on the way here. He has the poke, so does Splendor with the Staranda. Marcus looking for the kills. He's trying to charge his 10, of course, poking away here as we have Crosby starting to go in as well with the grenades.
Moving forward, it's now a 5v4 as Alex is not here yet. This is EPunk's best chance to try and make a play. They immediately move forward. The Eldrin's might. Good damage. Look at that hungering arrow build on Rosmig starting to come into play, doing that damage. He's gone for the siphoning arrows. That's to say, good bolt to avoid the damage. Apple turns around onto Alex, but Riptire coming in here. Cass weakens it.
Stumbled, miss that we saw in the engage. Good damage coming out. Again, the pulse bomb is in. Lauba jumping out. Crest completion mirrored, and that's going to help him for the fight as well. Sonic gets stunned out. You need to be really careful. And there's the sanctification on the ground.
Sank is really good as they move back in. Stay a while, gets interrupted by Muradin. Lauba taken out due to the bunker. Sonic's in full retreat. And that's going to be another one fight for Monkey Menagerie, taking it 2-for-1.
Tracer going down here. Maka goes a little bit too deep. Nice move to push Rosmig away. That was an important one. 2-for-1 trade right now.
Whoa,
advantageous for the Monkeys. They have to interrupt. They could easily interrupt Cassia, and they do with the grenades on Junkrat.
Maev's on the way back, but they can't fight this, surely. Finally, they pull back, and it's going to be even more shots. Junkrat even pinging in a couple grenades for that bell tower, seeing if he could snipe it. Unable to do so as Valor ate them instead. But yet another one fight for Monkey Menagerie. And even though EPunks are keeping up in experience, the core health tells a very clear story.
Oh yeah, 16 to 36, a massive lead for the Monkeys here. And you can see the pressure on Vala the entire time. Marke may be a bit overzealous occasionally when he tries to go in very deep for a kill, but he's bringing the pain, and he's bringing the damage too. If you look at the damage output, he's sitting at 50,000. The next in line is Junkrat with 42, and if you look over towards the EPunks, it's 36,000 on Vala only, so Monkey's pushing way more DPS out.
Disc and Riptire both burned there in that little scuffle. Loba is putting on the pressure pre-16 here. They're trying to make both teams are about to hit 16, but it's a little bit close for EPunks. It's why they're applying this kind of pressure. Wanting to try and catch someone out of position. Good concussion mine there, but they're not able to get an engage.
Yeah, also, again, when we're looking towards the attack, Rosmig gets attacked here right away. Went into the siphoning arrow on level 13. 16, the frost shot, trying to control the movements of Tracer in particular a little bit better.
I like that. A little bit of slow, but a good start on Tutorial. Stay a while. Lolba survives. He's got Sank back up and gets it at the last second. Here comes the turnaround, looking on for Rema. But with Sank expiring, they're not able to get the damage because Bunker's denied it. And David just misses.
Disc misses. Marker low, but able to move out, at least for now. Rosmig even popping the strafe here, trying to get the final damage in to secure another kill. That didn't quite work out. Triple altar on the map in another 10. And they can still push for the bottom bell tower here quite easily. Just get Junkrat in position, and he can shell away and take it down.
It is so low. Dahaka hovering from above. If they can win this bot, he can tunnel up and maybe try and take the aggressive one. But they're eating so much damage from Maka right now. No one's channeling. Looks like Spender will move in though. Oh, Loba. Cheeky move with the Elder Smite.
All you need is a grenade. One to make it through, and that bell tower is gone. And that would cut off the path of retreat for the EPunks too.
Okay, so they did exactly what I thought they were going to do. They tried to get the aggressive move with Cass tunneling in, but he got interrupted by the Stormbolt. In the meantime, Maev could try and sneak up, but she's not being given enough time. She instead stayed mid lane to get some extra experience.
EPunks are down to 12 points on the course. Things are starting to become really, really difficult here.
They want to deny. Oh, hi, Crosby.
All right.
Aggressive
Sonic
play, but that's
gets
fine.
attacked, needs to be careful. Interrupt potentially again. They actually interrupt Cass here, and Alex gets the channel through.
This is bad news. This is really bad news. The potential for even more shots onto the EPunks core, but there's really no reason for Menagerie to fight.
That's not the only thing. Look at the bot lane. The wave could actually take down the bell tower here.
It's gonna. No one's in position to stop it. Minions are in far in advance. Oh, actually, one minion wave's on the way. Oh, Alex got it.
Alex has it, and it goes in.
Boom. Crossfire.
That one, Zagona. 8 points on the core against 32 is what we're having in the game right now, and the camp has been taken away as well. Marke always looking for the next kill here. Damage against Rosmig. And he is down. Vala eliminated, and that's exactly the problem of this draft. This is what we talked about throughout the entire game in the draft already. The damage, the pressure, the threat against Vala.
Cass is trying to get top bell tower, buying his team some time. They have to stop these sappers making it in, and they do. With Cass able to take down top bell tower, he evens this up. Sonic has to live, though, to allow them to fight another day.
Sonic is solo, and they are all just like trying to somehow fight through this. Another Stormball set up here by Muradin, just barely missing. It's a tough game for the EPunks here. They are down on single digits right now.
Yeah.
And it's horrible from their perspective. Like, this is difficult, but they have a 3-0 in the series.
They're not out. They, like you said, they have room. This is the time you can make these kind of drafts. But we're going to have a quick pause coming in here. But right now, once again, XP is even, bell towers are even, core health is not even.
I mean, guys, we really apologize for the breaks here, but as you can understand, this is, first of all, a super important series for both of the teams. This is literally, okay, do you make it into HGC or not? Do you drop out and lose your spot, or can you secure it? On top of that, we have Alex apparently with food poisoning, who now several times went for extended periods to the bathroom to puke his guts out, more or less. So it's tough for all of them.
Yeah.
So I understand that the breaks can be a bit annoying, but still we want to make sure that they get the best environment that they can play it. And so if there are any issues at this point, this is really the moment where you have to like have that understanding where you say like, okay, we get it. Like, this is the most important thing. So this time we actually have the EPunks pausing it. They are currently in a really bad spot. They have trouble keeping Vala alive, as we more or less predicted. The pick on Tracer was a fantastic one. Junkrat already doing really well, and then you have this stun chain. It's so brutal to break through.
You can just see how squishy Vala is these days. That Tracer bomb, Vala had about 2/3 health and just absolutely destroyed. Even with all of the healing, with no shield potion available, with no Tyrell in position, she just gets destroyed.
And the damage output is absolutely insane. Make is just getting damage everywhere. He's throwing his pulse bombs out all the time. He's getting so much work done here. And it's just like the combined damage from not only Tracer, but Junkrat as well. They're just poking them down the entire time. And you look towards someone like Grandpa on Deckard Cain. He has really trouble keeping everyone alive. Even with Tyrell's shields and the sanctification that comes through, there's so much poke that oftentimes they have to make that snap call and say, okay, we go in and make our play now. And if it doesn't work out, then you are on the back foot. EPunks still put up a really good fight. But every time it comes back to the objective, it's just tough for them to secure the position on one of these altars. If they can snowball it to, if they can extend it to 20, they have bottomless flask, that would help, but it's so late already. You're on 8 points on the core against, I think, 32 at this point.
Something like that. It's close. Like, it is 8 points, because none of the sappers made it in. So with 8 health left on the core, that's 1 altar plus boss. That is the end game condition. The next altar phase being a double as well. There is just end game conditions in top lane too. So 1 altar, if a team fight's won by Monkey Menagerie, the game is over. That's it. Simple as.
So apparently the pause was just put in because there's a fire alarm happening at Roskmek's place. And we are currently told that there's something with the kitchen. Yeah,
apparently the smoke alarm in the kitchen went off.
So I'm not quite sure what exactly is happening.
The celebration pizza didn't win quick enough. It's burned.
From what we can tell here, the house is fine. The house is not burning. Roskmek is safe, but apparently there's something with a fire alarm that just like popped off. So the series is plagued with a few interesting things. I never had that before.
It's all food related, it seems. We had a little bit of food poisoning. We've got the kitchen smoke alarm going off. All food related issues right now.
Do you think that Alex got a bit of a care package from the EPunks the day before the series?
Good luck. Enjoy this totally inconspicuous fruit basket.
Enjoy this fruit basket. Please eat in the morning before the match.
It will bring you luck.
Next level plays right there.
Just see EPunks just dressed as like the Wicked Witch from Snow White.
I mean, who do we know who's actually a good cook in HGC? Mopsio, what did you do?
Oh dear. All right, looks like we are ready to head back into the game very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. So we will be seeing the conclusion of this game number 4.
I don't know if the fire alarm is actually off. Like that
that might be comms.
That was the main reason, because like in the comms you can obviously hear the fire alarm. So I'm not quite sure if the fire alarm is off or not. no matter what, the game continues. I think he's fine right now. Like, he came in and said, like, okay, guys, let's go. We can go in again. But yeah, so an interesting inconvenience that we have here. Top lane, Fender, double altar. This could literally be game. I mean, at this point, even if you get a single altar and you get boss, it's over from the EPunks perspective. So Monkeys can end this game now.
Cass is clearing out the sappers in the bot lane that were also piling on the pressure. But you can see here, EPunks, they have to play aggressive. They have to deny this. It would be nice if they could channel their own while this is happening. Containment disc is dodged again, but Dahaka has now arrived. They're looking for Marco, who's able to teleport away.
For how long though? Marco is close to dying and barely gets out here into the bunker, but that might still be the end of him, and he's down. Marco is down, and that could be the beginning of the end here in this fight. Another kill happening. Oh, it's a triple kill. Lauber survives all of it, a triple kill, and that's potentially 12 points.
How do they keep doing this, Caldor?
I have no idea.
They've been able to take another fight. They have to. Lauber needs to not block these Junkrat grenades. He's just dying. Oh my god, are they just going to give this up? Their health bars are non-existent. Dahaka's channeling their side. They've got such a good advantage. They're just going to delay this until Tyrael's healed at the fountain.
Rimmerballer could have just gotten the kill.
Yeah, it was
missing the Stormbolt there. Ah, yeah.
Crosby. Nice containment disc. They need to get in position though. Isolation. Oh,
nice.
The drag actually landed, but he was still
horrible.
flying.
That's a staggered death.
Rosmeg, he just ran through the total mayhem, just ate so much damage, but he is alive.
They can go for boss now as well with this. Like, getting... Junkrat only needed a poke. They could have poked this out a bit, but now they are level 20 just around the corner for the EPunks. We have double altar taken by the EPunks. They're going for the boss. That's right now 12 points off the core of the Monkeys. Monkeys, of course, still far ahead.
Yeah, they're six health left on the core. That's like 2 sappers and any altar, seeing as they're going to retake top here. This, of course, gives time for EPunks to finally reclaim that bot lane.
Yeah, it's getting close, though. I mean, the game a few seconds ago, it looked like a safe victory for the Monkeys, or at least like a very safe game for them. But now this is turning things around pretty quickly. Monkeys still far ahead.
Yeah.
But now it's 20 versus 20, and EPunks have at least started to start a bit of a turnaround here.
The game is entering its twilight hours as we are approaching the end at this point for potentially EPunks, unless they can keep this comeback going. As we see the sappers being picked up by Monkey Menagerie in top lane, by Cass in that bottom lane. They've got the pressure. Crosby re-arrives for his team to clean out the lane. They want top bell tower.
But still, we have Cannonball right now. We have Get Stuffed. There's so many fantastic talents on the side of the Monkeys. It's going to be so tricky for the EPunks to sustain themselves through 20 fights. It's going to be really rough. There's the double altar on the map right now. Already the engage. Here comes the sanctification. The Holy Arena. Well done. Cass in the backline already attacked here right away. Alex needs to be careful. Bunker is on cooldown. Alex needs to get out of here, and he does.
Cass gets stuffed. Cannonball's not enough, though. Here comes the scrape! As Crosby is healed up just in time by Splendor. A fantastic and just at the nick of time disengage from Monkey Menagerie.
Crosby and Marco were so low. It wasn't only the strafe, it was also Maiev going in, just getting that damage through the entire time with every single attack. But they can't just simply set this up again through the fountain, already recuperating a lot of their hit points, and now an even trade would still be fantastic for the Monkeys.
It's all down to this. They can't afford to give up these shots. Lauber, interruption, burning Halo for a little bit of extra interrupt delay there. Dahaka's grabbed their own side.
EPunks, great. They channeled through their own, and now they have a chance of going for the second tier too.
They've got to. I mean, they have to. They can't afford to lose more core health. Crosby just eats damage from Lauber there. Good engage.
Yeah, we had a rotation into the middle from on trying to make sure that they at least get some extra experience and push the wave out. Not taking any damage on the bell tower itself, but right now EPunks are pushing in aggressively for this one again.
Junkrat is Junkratting, doing fantastic poke.
EPunks, Monkeys are currently trying to not funnel into that choke point. They're trying to make sure that there's not a massive engage from Lauber and from Maiev, and instead trying to fan around to look for a kill.
The longer they wait for this, the more likely Sank will be back though, and that's the biggest tool that EPunks have in their arsenal. Stay a while. Catches Muradin, they've silenced him as well. Can they finish off Rema? He's dropping low. Tether doesn't get him as Bunker saves the day. Grandpa and Lauber both drop very low.
Great damage against Lauber. That was fantastic from Maka and forces them back. Great Bunker as well to save Muradin, but of course having that pulse bomb coming through from Tracer was huge, and that is another 4 points off the core of the EPunks. They're down to 2. 2 against 16.
Two Sappers drag onto Alex. They're trying to finish him. Loba's pushed away. Loba's alive. He got the teleport out, but Alex survives too.
Lauba is ridiculous in this game. This is like the second or third time that he walks away with basically no HP whatsoever. Fantastic moves here by him again, and just on the edge. No kills happening just yet. But again, 2 points. 2 points is all that the monkeys need to get their point on the scoreboard.
My heart can't take this game much longer, Caldor. It's so close. EPunks, they've pulled off an amazing comeback, but they're teetering on the edge. Monkey Menagerie just need one last push.
9 kills against 10. Another cam stolen here towards the right side. Cass comes in. Isolation. Muradin the focus. The kill against Alex.
They look for Rebel next. They get him too. Respect the elderly with the silence. They finally land the containment disc. And this is going to be an easy triple kill for the EPunks. But what can they do with this? They have to, at minimum, get bottom bell tower. It's already weakened. That's a great move. But Tracer, in the meantime, is pushing in top.
There's no boss. You can't take boss right now. There's 16 points on the monkey side, and there's no altars announced on the map yet. There we go.
There we go.
Spawn in 30 seconds. They will have a time window when Tyrande is still down.
Are they going for a triple cap?
Yeah. They can't.
It's taking too long if they are, because the Haka's pushing bot.
Bot
if they
lane is easy.
5 people up to top, they could in theory do it.
I mean, bot lane is an easy grab that should also give you access to the altar. I don't think that the monkeys can go for the altar here.
It was a good clear by Junkrat there.
I mean, also, even going for that camp where the monkeys just died, you can really question a decision too. Is that really necessary? Right now, the monkeys are falling behind again. Bottom bell tower is taken. That's an easy channel here now as well. The monkeys are going to play this slow. Marke cannot die here.
This ate so much damage. Crosby comes in for help. Boss is alive. 11 health to 2 as they begin taking the boss. Tyrande's up in 4. Muradin is going to be taking the portal. He could try and flank this, but look at that clear speed. Rosbek making the most of that Hungering Arrow. They were able to take the boss.
There's the drag. Alex needs to be really careful here, but here comes the Riptire. Goes in. They're trying to go for Lauba. Can they get the kill this time? He's low. He's really low again, but he walks away.
Lava's playing a bullet hell right now with all these Junkrat grenades, keeping himself alive. He is able to back out.
7 points on the core against 2. They were so far ahead, but right now the monkeys are actually starting to fear a little bit for their life in this series and in this game in particular. EPunks still extremely far behind when it comes to the core points, but they have the momentum on the map right now with 5 bell towers to 3.
Yeah, they've got it, but right now, Monkey Menagerie immediately taking the opportunity of the quiet time in the game. They reclaim bottom bell tower. This will even it up. Once again, they have lethal no matter what. They could lose all but 1 bell tower and still have lethal here. But the less that are available for Monkey Menagerie, the better chance they have.
They wrap around Muradin from the side here. Okay, they go for the camp instead. They give up the bell tower in the middle. Yeah. Just let it go. They want to force the fight here. And here's the altar. That's the altar to, again, potentially end it all. Tyrael jumping in, jumping out. Camp's taken.
Loba is making such great use of this double teleport on the Eldarin's Might for great harassment plays.
13 kills against 9 in favor of the EPunks. Level 23 against 22. Here comes the poke. Here comes the Stormbolt. They're going in again. This altar could decide it all. Monkeys might be able to put their name onto the scoreboard, but if the EPunks win the fight and take another bell tower, maybe even another camp, they could potentially even end the game here.
Cass is in trouble. Good burrow. Dodging the Stormbolt, though. Here comes the Riptire. There's a big group up of heroes here. Rosberg eats half his health worth of damage, but Tracer is beginning to creep forward, looking for Rosberg, but it's given time for Grand Paqueta to heal him up. Sonic also putting on the pressure. Good stun onto Deckard. Is it going to be enough? The follow-ups there. The Shadowstalk 2. The Sank is being dropped with the isolation on the backline. They get the double kill.
Double kill already as Tracer and Tyrande both fall, and it's going to be a triple. Alex is trying to get away from this one, but he's body blocked already. And that is it. Alex is down, and now the chance for the EPunks to go for all of those bell towers. Sonic is already starting the channel. Can easily restart it again, and that would put the monkeys onto 1 single point on the core.
Smart. Monkeys retake their own bell tower, moving it up to 5 again, so it's still just going to be 5 shots. 2 health left on both teams. Cores counter!
Ridiculous.
This game is still going. When's the boss up? How long until that? Because right now, that is going to be the next objective, quite likely, that will end the game here. 2 minutes left on that boss. Bell tower will be up in a little bit longer than that. Oh boy, they're just going for ult Beltars at this point.
Junkrat has 150,000 hero damage by now. The poke is insane. Here comes the disc, the stay while, listen, and he goes down. Junkrat eliminated. Remabola jumping away, trying to stay alive here. Strafe comes through, hops again with a rewind, and is able to keep himself alive, at least for now. But they lose more ground on the map, and EPunks is rotating topside. They want to end this game.
They only need like, they only need a couple seconds worth of the triple cap. Immediately, everyone from Monkey Menagerie is in panic mode, running to bot lane. Material is coming in for the delay.
They don't have it.
If he can hold this, then that's gonna be it, Kaldor. They're holding the
barrage is starting.
It's all about the race. They gotta finish
First
it now.
one.
Kill it now. Kill it now.
Oh
It's
my
so
god,
close.
no! They don't get it! They don't have it!
1, they got it! They got it! They're still alive! Monkey Menagerie holding on by the skin of their bananas!
27 minutes into the game, and here's the double altar, and Camp,
less than a minute.
Camp is prepared at the top lane too. That's another big one. You need to immediately go for it, and you can actually use Sanctification.
Yes,
you can
but
use
they have to
Sank right now
stop
and
the
containment this.
There's lethal there as well for the Monkey Menagerie. Loba can't die here. They have to let these sappers go through while also denying both altars and then or potentially going for bots, which will be up in less than a minute.
But you have
They're
Sank.
moving forward. They
only need the Sank.
They have Sank. Stay
The
a
kill!
while.
Rosberg is down! Is that enough?
Blaze.
One shot, there's a shot! That's it! That's game!
That's it! The sappers make their way in, and it's gonna be EPunks taking the series in a 4-0. They have made it into HGC Europe Pro Division.
EPunks not even dropping a map here against the Monkeys, and especially on the last one, that's unbelievable. The draft already looking fantastic for the Monkeys. Such a massive, massive lead on the objective too, and then the turnaround by the EPunks. Lauber playing out of his mind in that late game.
I honestly, I look at the last two games, I don't know how EPunks did it, but the fact that they did is truly incredible. Taking some amazing games there. The Hungering Arrow Valor build. Of course she was the target. Of course she got blown up. But when she survived, that value was insane.
Half the deaths were actually against Rosberg. And I mean, obviously, like, he's the prime target at this point. But unbelievable that they actually could turn so many of these fights around. And then the last moment there too. I mean, they had everything stacked in their favor. The objective comes through just as they finally get the kill. So many fights, especially around the top left. Twice actually, two objective phases where we saw fights on the altar at the top left with a choke point. Worked so well for the EPunks, for all people coming in with Arterial, Sanctification getting value, Ma'F going in.
It was a perfect split. It was a perfect split. Dahaka taking the Mercenary up in top lane. He then immediately tunneled to bot because, of course, Alex was already down there getting ready to channel that because everyone else was fighting mid. They were fighting that, so of course that all just not going. Where's the one last thing that can lose you the game? Bot lane. Perfect reactions by Cass. Perfect pressure applied on the map. EPunks, that end game was beautiful.
And that is the EPunks entering HGC Europe. So congratulations to the EPunks. Fantastic play. Grand Paquette gets his revenge that he was looking for. At the same time, we have now that team, that all-star team that formed after the in-season brawl. We have them back in HGC.
Sonic on his second attempt has finally done it. Failing at last Crucible, has now managed to make it in with this roster.
And a really respectable effort here from them. Not even dropping a single map in the Crucible match is very impressive. Yeah. Especially since we had two maps, the third and the fourth, where they actually were far behind and started fantastic comebacks here. So dominating game 1, game 2, and then in the two maps right after, still with a massive, massive effort to turn it around and not even giving the Monkeys the chance to come back into this.
Monkeys, there was some great signs of strength. I hope to see at least some of their players, whether they stick together, whether they split up. I hope to see those players back in Open Division, where I'll be casting next year, I assume. I don't know, actually, or where we'll see Open Division next year. We'll find out.
Yeah, and as we said, we've already JPL and Darkmorg already retiring. There are also rumors that we might see a few more players in Europe retire, or at least like getting moved away from teams. There is also a chance that we see some of the Monkeys players entering those teams, depending on the positions that are needed there. But for them, obviously, a bit of a tough run here. Yeah. They looked a lot better in game 3 and 4. But at the same time, EPunks, they look just hungrier, more coordinated, and way more aggressive. You could really tell they wanted this.
They wanted it. they got it. If you fight for something, sometimes you can make it yours. In this case, they were able to play incredibly well. They have, like we said, 3 ex-HGC professionals. The amount of potential either leadership or experience or just insane play, which we can definitely say everyone on EPunks played absolutely superbly today, including this guy. We have an interview with Graham Paqueta. Welcome back, my friend.
Hello, boys. We're back.
Yes, you are. Welcome back. It was fantastic to see those games. For starters, the obvious question, how does it feel to be back in HGC again?
I mean, it's amazing being back in HGC, but it's also amazing the way we made it back to the HGC with a 4-0, like dominating the open division. It's great. I think we're going to have a good season.
So in those last 2 games, we're going to start with those. Those were a little rougher where you were able to bring it back in the late game. Now, you do have a lot of experienced pros. Do you think that experience came into effect where you were starting from so far behind in some of those late game plays?
Like we were confident that we were the better team. So even if we fall behind, we know that in late game team fights we can win. Like this last game, for example, we had our comp was a disgrace against their comp, but still we were like, let's keep playing. We're going to do it. And at some point we're going to win a fight. And yeah, it worked out.
So what has this taught you, if anything, about from where you move into the pro division? What lessons have you learned from this Crucible?
I mean, the lesson I learned, and everyone should learn, is that you need to practice the game to be good at it. You can expect being 4 months without playing the game and still be on top.
That's fair enough. All right, Caldor?
All right, I like the shots fired already, so let's like build up on that immediately. From the start, when you were actually like kicked off the team, you said, I'm going to come back, and you said you want to pick them. Then you guys lose in the playoffs, of course, and you don't have the choice, but you still get to play against the Monkeys since the Bananas go for Roll20. How satisfying was that for you? And just like walk me a little bit about how the motivation for that revenge play, like how this entire setup was for you when you also heard that you're playing against the Monkeys and the way the series shaped out.
And the first day when they kicked me, I was like, think I'm gonna retire from the game because I don't know. But then the day after, I was like, fuck this shit, I'm gonna kick them out of the HGC. And I contacted Rollsmake, Lauver, Sonic, and I was like, I have this idea in my brain, and we're gonna make it, and we're gonna make it against Monkeys. But then the playoffs, we grief. Like that day was a disgrace. Like was the worst day on our play, like by far. But thanks God, Holy Bananas picked Roll20, and when we knew our opponents were Monkeys, we were like, yeah, we're gonna make it, we're gonna win.
Do you think that the Holy Bananas are going to take Roll20 down? And do you understand their reasoning for picking Roll20 in the first place?
I guess Holy Bananas thought that since Monkey Menagerie were kind of trolling the whole season and still went on top when they faced Roll20, maybe they think Roll20 is a weaker team. Mm-hmm. But I actually think it's the other way around. I think Roll20 just had bad days when they faced Monkeys. And I think Roll20 is the stronger team.
One last question. I have one last question because you just like flat out stated just a second ago that you felt that the last draft that you guys had to quote you was a disgrace. How did that happen? Because we also looked at the draft and we see the Vala pick coming in without a second support, without, let's say, a Blaze that can provide a bunker or URL for the extra armor. And we were wondering, okay, what's the thought process here? Because she immediately was a huge target. I mean, Rosbeck died 5 times. Obviously, he's the main target. He still did fantastic damage and got some really great kills given the situation. But what inspired that Vala pick? Why Vala, and how worried were you guys when you saw the draft and the Tracer pick in particular?
It all started when they banned Garrosh, because when they banned Garrosh, we were like, they're kind of baiting us into picking Diablo. Why would you ban Garrosh otherwise? Then I think we banned Thrall, and we picked Tyrell, and we didn't expect the Tracer. We didn't even think about the Tracer. We played Vala alone, like without double support, and Rosmek is a beast on it. But against Tracer, it doesn't work that well. So it's just that we sleep on the Tracer. We didn't even think about the Tracer was still on the draft.
All right. I mean, you guys salvaged it, and again, like, big shout out. The first 2 games, you absolutely dominated, and then in Game 3 and Game 4, both games you were behind, and you turned it around, so it was a super great series here from you. I'm hyped to see you guys in HGC, so congratulations again. It's good having you back, and you definitely proved today that you belong in HGC, so yeah, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
And obviously, congratulations from me as well. It's a little bittersweet for me because every time I see any of you guys in Crucible, it's always fantastic. In Open Division, it's always fantastic. Gonna be a little bittersweet not casting you for a while, dude, but I hope to be able to do so maybe at Western Clashes, as you now have the chance to get to Western Clashes, mid-season brawls, BlizzCons. What's the next goal for you guys?
When you get into the league, the main goal is just to avoid the Crucible. But I think we have what it takes to make it to the Western Class, so maybe we see you there.
All right, well, we hope to see you there as well. Finally, do you have any shout-outs for everyone at home?
And shout-outs for everyone that has been supporting us and helping us, like our families, our friends, our girlfriends, people on Reddit, people on Twitter, like everyone that has been supporting and believing in EPunks. Also, shout-out for EPunks for believing in their project since the very first day. And shout-out for our sponsors, Razer and Gunnars.
All right, thanks very much, dude. Huge congratulations. And we will, of course, be seeing EPunks in the next season of HGC Europe. But lucky for the rest of you, we still have more games today. Thank you very much, Grandpa Kenna. We will see you in the next season.
Goodbye.
And we still have more games today and tomorrow, where we, for starters, have the first game of the North American Crucible. That will be coming up right after this.
I'm actually hyped for that one too, because I want to see how Psystorm is going to do, and especially their drafting is really interesting to me, because I watched the playoffs of Open Division in North America, and I alluded to it a bit earlier. I was a bit worried about how they really tunnel visioned on the double support Vala. A lot of the drafts that they had seemed very antiquated if you look towards the Western meta. But of course, since then, they had a lot of time really adjusting to the meta, practicing over here. And even with that drafting style, they were able to, in the end, make it into the Crucible, even though those compositions lost them a lot of the games. So I want to see how much the team improved right now. And I'm very, very hyped to see how they're going to perform. For me personally, from both of the North American matches, this is the more exciting one.
And we're going to be having that coming up next. No Tomorrow versus Psystorm. And of course, we will be back tomorrow with Holy Bananas versus Roll20. But for now, for today, that is it from me and Caldor. Coming up next, it is Psystorm versus No Tomorrow with Solid Jake and Kala after this break.
Right now, the re-engage by Lauba, going in deep, trying to see if they can turn around. Yeah, he goes down. Marcus surviving.
Sonic!
Taken apart by Sonic on his Maya.
Sonic's dropped too low, though. Once again, too ambitious, thinking he could get all those resets. But that engage, as the Nano Boost was dropped, forcing Gul'dan to do more running than fighting.
Needs to be careful, though, as Alex is starting to move in, too. Cass providing some space for him, and they're starting to move back here. They need to be careful. They can't give this up, and they go in immediately with the Biotic Emitter. Already the bunker on the ground, so Hyperion is getting dropped. Containment just comes through. Here comes the stun from Uther. They're trying to go for Grand Paquette. He's slow. He's about to go down. Survives, and the Horrify takes down 2 with a follow-up damage. Decker down, Reyna dead. Uther explodes, and Blaze eliminated.
Marker just got wrecked by the conveyor belt there, and that is a full 5-man team wipe. I wanted to make you feel like Trick was here, Caldor. Crosby is the target here for the blow-up as Alex and Rema dive into the ball and get shut down by the Horrify. Rema's gonna die to catapults here.
2 down,
GG.
3 gone, 4th also eliminated. Crosby, the last man standing, doesn't even matter. Containment just comes out. The EPunks, they go for the core. I expect the business. Lauba is down, and that's the explosion value. He has the counter kill. 2 for 1 right now. Tracer is dead, and so is Cassie and Gul'dan. The damage is gone on the side of the Monkeys.
The 2 for 2 being held, sorry, as they look for the turnaround. But there's impaler to catapults in the bot lane.
Oh, my bad. I could have sworn I used Horrify there, but it was only the corruption that came through. Yeah. Catapults in the bot lane, as you already called it, on the core pretty soon. Half a level away for the EPunks on 20. And here come the Monkeys, pushing on the objective.
Catapults are starting to hit the core. It's about to be 3 catapults. They're moving it. There's the Horrify, but it's Whitemane who is dropped first. Marker goes down too. No. What? EPunks
Double
hits
kill.
20. They're looking for more.
They have 20 and they're going in for more. They're trying to get more. And we have the kill against Gul'dan. All of a sudden, the EPunks going in. They get 1, 2, 3, 4. They completely wipe the Monkey, that bloody bell tower. They didn't get a kill and they lost 2 heroes. Now they're fighting back. And Junkrat goes down. Rossman!
Oh, Marker takes him down as they instead turn onto Alex, looking for the counter kill. They get him, but Marcus here, he's gonna do so much damage to speed up the follow-ups there. The Shadow Stalk 2, the Sank is being got with the isolation on the backline. They get the double kill.
Double kill already. A Stray Sun Duranda both fall, and it's going to be a triple. Alex is trying to get away from this one, but he's body blocked already. And that is it. Alex is down, and now the chance for the EPunks to go for all of those bell towers.